Get full episodes of The Damage Report as a podcast on iTunes and Android, and you can watch the live show every weekday on YouTube TV. Donald Trump actually visited California to talk with those fighting the fire and with the governor, and he had some advice about what we can do to avoid these sorts of fires in the future. He said this: I was with the president of Finland and he said we have much different. We're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem. And what it is, it's a very small problem. So I know everybody's looking at that to that end. So they are raking and cleaning the forests of Finland, a country that is 70% covered with forests, so it takes a long time to rake all of that. Now it might seem like we're sort of taking him, like we're focusing too much on one word, but no, this is actually something that he has returned to a couple of times over the past few weeks. He had previously said in an interview, I was watching the firemen the other day and they were raking areas. They were raking areas where the fire was right over there, and they're raking little bushes that you could see are totally dry weeds, and they're raking them. They're on fire. That should have been all raked out and cleaned out. You wouldn't have the fire. So a couple times he's mentioned now that he either thinks they should be raking or they are already raking the fire.
Because you are for sure like the environmental expert here, but are leaves in a forest hazardous?
Well, look, so I'm gonna give him as the biggest benefit of the doubt possible.
Okay.
So underbrush can contribute to the severity of fires and how fast they spread. And so there are programs, like even in California, where they do controlled burns, where they purposefully set small fires to clean out the area under conditions where they can destroy it if they want to. So that is a thing. But what is not a thing is going through the entirety of hundreds or thousands of square miles of forest and raking out all of the leaves.
As if it were like your front yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it pretty.
And the Finnish president didn't actually tell him that. And so we now turn to the Finnish president, who said he told Trump that Finland is a country covered by forests, but we also have a good surveillance system and network in case of wildfires. However, raking wasn't brought up in the conversation. The Finnish president reckons raking perhaps came to Trump's mind after seeing the firefighters raking the burned down areas in California. So he just confuses all these things. They get mixed up in his head, and he might end up spending billions to rake California's wildfires as a result of this.
What's frustrating about this, just I think, like a lot of people, two things. One, the answers that the president was giving kind of during this little miniature kind of press conference seemed uneducated. And then the big takeaway from this is that once again, the president lied, and a foreign leader has to come out and say, that didn't happen. I did not say that.
Yeah.
That happens so often.
Because of his ignorance. And his lack of curiosity, lack of interest in finding out what's going on.
Is that the reason one lies?
I think that's part of it.
Okay.
He doesn't know. Well, he might still lie even if he did know, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about the climate. He doesn't know anything about fire. But thankfully, there was the Finnish president. There are also regular Finnish people, including Tarja, who tweeted this: just this afternoon, I was busy meeting my raking quota. # rake news. # Finland. So look, that's a fire hazard waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You better get going. Clear that out. And let's see, Mira tweeted, off to perform my civic duty, # rake news, # Finland. And I hope she gets out there, because if this were to happen to Finland, that would be very scary. So no, that's not actually what's causing our fire. Climate change is causing our fires. Now there have always been and will always be wildfires in California, but they are far more common and far worse because we have dried out our state.
Right.
And so when there is a problem, when there is someone leaves a little fire, or there's some concerns about the possibility that a power plant might have caused this, that might not have been a gigantic problem 50 years ago if we had not done what we have done to our climate.
What's upsetting, I think another aspect of this that's upsetting, is this is something that is very serious right now. It's dangerous, it's devastating and life-changing for so many people right now, and it is almost like a punchline a little bit, and that starts with the president of the United States, because he said something that not only wasn't true, but was just so ridiculous and easily like disprovable. Or I just,
Yeah.
It's frustrating, and you feel bad for the people who are watching, their country's leader and how he's discussing their devastation, and that misses the mark.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, but by the way, as ridiculous as it is also, let's acknowledge, blaming the victims.
Right.
That is his thing that he does. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.